Next classification of proteins based on function. Here, based on the functions, total proteins are divided into different classes. Around 10 classes are there. Among them, first one, structural protein. Structural protein is a protein which is involving in structure of a cell or tissue. If you take an example, muscular protein like actin, myosin, troponin, like that, some proteins are there in muscle. They are responsible to give structure to the muscle tissue. Collagen is a protein which is present in bones and gives structure to the bones. Collagen is a bone protein that gives structure. Transport proteins means they can act as carriers. Carriers means they can transport some substances from one place of the body to another place of the body. Example, albumin. Plasma proteins are there, na? Albumin, globulin, like that. Plasma proteins. In blood there are presence of some proteins. That proteins act as carriers. Suppose hemoglobin is there. Hemoglobin is a protein. What is the function of hemoglobin? It transports or carries. It carries oxygen and carbon dioxide between lungs and tissue. So that hemoglobin, as it is responsible to transport oxygen and carbon dioxide, that hemoglobin is a carrier protein or a transport protein. Third one, catalytic protein. Catalytic proteins. Catalytic proteins are those means the proteins which work as enzymes. Some proteins are involving in reactions and they function as enzymes. So that proteins which are involving in metabolism and which are acting as enzymes are called as catalytic proteins. Example for catalytic protein, you know, digestion absorption is going on, right, in zoology. What is the topic going on in zoology? Body fluids circulation. Okay, body fluid circulation. In digestion and absorption, there is involvement of many enzymes. Even in 10th class, like glycolysis, Krebs cycle, you studied, na? In that glycolysis also there is hexokinase, like that, some enzymes will come. Okay, see that. Suppose salivary amylase enzyme which is present in saliva, that is responsible for breakdown of digestion of food. And suppose some other enzyme like hexokinase is there. Hexokinase is an enzyme that is involving in glycolysis. Yeah, digestion and absorption completed means you might study many enzymes. Many digestive enzymes we might study. Salivary amylase, pancreatic amylase, that is responsible for digestion of carbohydrates. Lipid digestion, pancreatic lipase. Lipase is there. Cholesterol esterase. Lipids we discussed already now, that lipids can be broken down. Triacylglycerols are converted. Digestion, you might study already. And proteases, enzymes which are responsible to break protein, like pepsin, renin, trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase, elastase, like that. Different proteins are there. Yeah, carbohydrates, fructose, sucrose, amylase, fructose and sucrose. Sucrase is responsible to break up sucrose into sucrose is broken down into fructose and glucose with the help of sucrase enzyme. Lactase enzyme is there. Lactase enzyme is responsible to break lactose into galactose and glucose. In biomolecules only we studied that. Okay, these are catalytic proteins. Then regulatory proteins. Regulatory proteins are those which controls metabolism. Metabolism means synthesis and breakdown of any substance is called as a totally metabolism. That synthesis and breakdown metabolism is there now, that metabolism is controlled. Suppose an example, calmodulin is a protein, that calmodulin controls calcium metabolism. Calcium metabolism is controlled by a protein called calmodulin. That is a regulatory protein. Then gene regulatory proteins. Gene regulatory proteins are those which are responsible for regulation of genes and expression of characters. Expression of characters in living organisms is under control of some gene regulatory proteins. They control or they regulate gene expression. Gene expression is controlled here. Coming to examples of gene regulatory proteins, activator, repressor. Activator is there that will regulate gene expression positively. Positive regulation means activation of the process. Repressor carries repression or inactivation. Inactivation or decrease in the function. Okay, that is gene regulatory protein. Next category, nutrient proteins. Nutrient protein means which can be taken as food. That proteins we can take as food. The proteins what we can take as food are called as nutrient proteins. Example, albumin. In egg there is presence of a protein called albumin. That albumin protein can function as a nutrient protein. Not only albumin in egg, in milk there is another protein called as casein. Casein is a protein which is present in milk. That also acts as nutrient protein. Then nutrient protein, toxic proteins. Toxic protein means which are poisonous proteins. Proteins which are working as poisons are called as toxic proteins. Example, snake venom. Snake will release some poisonous snakes are there now, that snakes, when the snake bites, from that there is a release of a protein called as snake venom. Snake venom is a toxic protein. Avidin is a protein which is present in egg, that is toxic. Avidin is a protein which is present in egg, that is toxic. That means eggs are poisons, It seems eggs are poison. No, eggs are not poison. No doubts coming. I am asking you a question. Yeah. Sir, will this avidin affect our body, sir? Eggs are not poisonous, no sir. Yeah. Actually, eggs are not poisonous when we take that egg in boiled or cooked form. If raw eggs are taken, raw eggs without heating or boiling, that means without boiling the egg, without making omelette, like that, if you take egg, in that egg there may be presence of this avidin protein. Avidin protein that is present in very less amount only. Egg cell are inside the egg only, but it is present in less content, less number. But if you boil the egg, protein will undergo denaturation. Protein will break down. That protein will break down and that is converted into non-poison. No problem. So you have to take Egg in boiled condition only. Okay, nutrient proteins, toxic proteins, defense proteins. Defense proteins means which are giving immunity. They involve in immunity. Example for defense proteins: immunoglobulins or antibodies. Antibodies or immunoglobulins are there. Immunoglobulins or antibodies, they can be taken as immunity boosters. These proteins, they are giving resistance to diseases. They protect our body. That's why they are called as defense proteins. Toxic proteins, defense proteins, nutrient proteins, regulatory. Wait, one more type is there. One more type is there. Wait 1 second. Toxic. Nutrient you wrote now, we wrote na. Regulatory also we wrote. 1 second. Controllers, enzymes, hormones. Yes, very important. Hormone proteins, hormonal proteins. Some peptide hormones are there which are working as hormones. Proteins, some of the proteins can work as this protein. Some of the proteins can work as hormones which is controlling metabolism. Example: insulin, growth hormone, glucagon, they are examples of this one. Okay, structural proteins, transport proteins, enzymes, storage proteins. This nutrient proteins are there, na, that we can call them as storage proteins. So these are different types of proteins based on the function of a protein. Based on the function of a protein, total proteins are divided into this category. Okay? Yeah, one more is there, wait. Contractile proteins. Contractile proteins. Contractile proteins means which is involved in muscle. Example for this contractile protein: actin, myosin, etc. Actin, myosin. These are contractile proteins which are involved in muscle contraction. Muscle contraction means that the muscle is there now. This muscle, when we are moving, that muscle will contract. Due to that contraction of muscles only we can have movements. So totally, based on the functions, total proteins are divided into 10 categories. What are that? Structural proteins which are involving in structure of a cell or tissue, like muscular proteins. This one only, actin, myosin, they will give structure to the muscle, and collagen which is giving structure to the bone. Not only that, suppose in plasma membrane there is presence of integral proteins and peripheral proteins we discussed. In cell chapter, that cell membrane is there na. In the cell membrane, proteins, lipids and carbohydrates are there. That proteins are present two types. What are the two types of the proteins present in the plasma membrane? Peripheral proteins and integral proteins. They are also forming structure only. Okay. Transport proteins are those which are involving in transport, which are acting as carriers to carry a substance from one place to another place in the body. Examples: plasma proteins like albumin, globulin. Then catalytic proteins are those which are working as enzymes. Some of the proteins can work as enzymes, They are called as catalytic proteins. Example, this one. Okay, tyline, hexokinase, lipases, proteases, trypsin, chymotrypsin, they. Then regulatory proteins are those which are regulating metabolism. Metabolic reactions are controlled by regulatory proteins like calmodulin, and gene regulatory proteins are those which are controlling regulation of gene expression. Our characters will be expressed based on our DNA, right? That expression of characters based on our DNA is under control of gene regulatory proteins like activator, repressor, suppressor, coactivator, like that some other are there. These are important. Then nutrient proteins, which are also called as storage proteins. Nutrient proteins, which are also called as storage proteins. As they store food, we can take them as food, like egg albumin, casein in milk, albumin, casein. Casein is a protein which is present in milk. That casein protein we can take as food. Toxic proteins which are working as poisonous properties like avidin and snake venom. Defense proteins are those which can give immunity like immunoglobulins. Then hormonal proteins are those which are working as hormones like insulin, growth hormone, glucagon. Some other hormones are also there which are proteins. Contractile proteins are those which are involving in muscle contraction like actin, myosin. Sir, yeah, doubt, what is that? Then half boil is not good. Yeah, you can take, no problem. Normal raw eggs also you can take, no problem. But if you take raw eggs in more quantity, then it will be poison. Boiled form is very safe. Half boil means that is okay. But if you take raw eggs, in that raw eggs, if you take raw eggs also in limited number, less quantity means no problem. If you take raw eggs in more quantity, then it will become an issue. So if you take the egg which is not fully boiled but half boiled, then will it contain the protein avidin? Yeah, protein avidin may be there but not fully broken down. So when we are boiling the protein undergoes denaturation. Denaturation is like normal egg is there, na? Egg has a protein like albumin. Egg has avidin. Egg has albumin. Albumin protein, what is present in egg, if we boil that will convert into solid form. Liquid is originally egg. But when we boil that egg, that will convert into solid form. Na? That is a property called as coagulation. Coagulation, which is a type of denaturation. Denaturation means original property is lost. That is denaturation. In that denaturation, coagulation is a type. Okay. Coagulation is one type. That coagulated means proteins are broken down. See here, avidin or albumin, they can be converted into denatured form. Not original form, they are converted into some other form. That is coagulation of protein. But if avidin is there, avidin is also a protein. All proteins have that property of coagulation. When we boil the egg, that avidin will be converted into coagulated form, not oxygen. But half boil means that is not fully converted into non-toxin or solid form. So that may be giving negative impact. But if you take raw eggs in more number, then avidin will take it. Avidin is a tetrameric biotin, sir. No. Biotin is vitamin. Biotin is a vitamin B7. Sir, will we eat raw eggs? Yeah, you can take raw eggs, but not much more. Okay? Did you copy this? based on function. Total chapter of biomolecules is very important for remaining all chapters of 11th, 12th. That's why I am teaching slowly and very clearly. You may think, why sir I am teaching much more than NCERT, like that you may think. But this topic will definitely, each and everyone will come in other lessons, 11th or 12th. Okay? Then, now it is clear. Then classification of classification of proteins based on another criteria. Based on solubility and physical properties of proteins. Based on solubility and physical properties, the total proteins are divided into three major classes, which are again further divided into subclasses also. Based on solubility and physical properties, the total proteins are divided into three major classes. One is simple proteins. Total proteins are divided into three. Simple proteins. Second one is conjugated proteins. Third one is derived proteins. Simple proteins, conjugated proteins and derived proteins are three classes of proteins based on the solubility and physical properties of proteins. See one by one. Simple proteins. Name itself simple. They have simple form, only amino acids are present. Conjugated proteins. Protein will combine with non-protein. One protein and non-protein both will combine and give conjugated, which is also called as a compound protein. Conjugated proteins can also be called compound proteins. Derived proteins means which are derivatives, like lipids are there now. Lipid classification we discussed already. In that lipid classification, simple lipids are there. What are simple lipids? Simple lipids are those which are simplest in form. That means they have only lipid units. Like alcohol and fatty acid are present, that is a simple lipid. Compound lipid or conjugated lipid means lipid combines with non-lipid. What is the non-lipid there? Phospholipids have phosphate group extra. Other than lipid, there is presence of phosphate group in phospholipid. Glycolipids have carbohydrate plus lipid. Lipoproteins have proteins along with lipids. Like that, there is presence of some other unit other than lipids. That is lipid classification. Same here. Simple proteins means which have only proteins. Only proteins means they are made with only amino acids. And conjugated proteins means they are proteins along with non-protein units. Other than protein unit like carbohydrate or lipid or any other thing that may combine with the protein and form this conjugated protein. Derived proteins means derivatives of simple and compound proteins. Simple proteins and conjugated proteins can undergo breaking down and they will form this derived proteins. These are three different categories. See, simple proteins. Simple proteins have simple amino acids only. Meeting will end. Wait 1 second. Rejoin again. It will end now. You can rejoin.